minute we begin.
西周也好，还是阿兰也好。
Okay, let's begin. Good afternoon. My name is Beckman Yelena Viktorovna, or Beckman Yelena. You can call me. Please write me in a chat plus if you hear me well. If the sound is good, please write me plus in a chat. Okay, sound is good. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I close our chat. Somebody is coming. Oh, we have a lot of students. More than 40. We have very big group. So once again, my name is Beckman Yelena. I am a PhD in education. Today we begin our first course, and its name is Strategic and Innovative Management in Education. And first of all, I'm glad to greet you at our university and at our pedagogical faculty. Welcome to our big family. I think you understand that you made a really great choice because you have chosen our university and our faculty. So two students are coming yet. Okay. So the sound is good and we begin. In a few days you will have your password to educational portal, and all materials for lectures, for practical lessons you will have there and you can see there. But today we have our first lecture. Students are coming once again. So we have a really very big group of 47 students. So let's begin. Our first topic in this course is Fundamentals of Theory and Methodology of Pedagogical Innovations. But first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Beckman Yelena Viktorovna. In our Russian tradition, we call teachers name and name after father, Yelena Viktorovna. But you can call me Yelena. Beckman is my surname. I am a PhD in education. My interests in education are innovations in education, heuristic education, higher education. uh, Probably of some with somebody of you we will work on your master thesis too. So if you have the same scientific interest, probably we will work on your thesis. um, Here you can see my emails. Probably you will have some questions, so you can write. First of all, our course of strategic and innovative management in education would be consist of two parts. We will know about strategic management and innovative management. So we will have 4 lectures and five practical lessons. You will know after our course about the essence of strategic management, evaluation of managerial thoughts, administrative management, and many other things. You see all these topics on our slide. Uh, our topic today is pedagogical innovations, but first of all, I would like to start such a concept or as management in educations, and many others. So, our main themes of the course are next: management, educational management, strategic management, and innovative management. Management is a term that is constantly used in companies, in every educational establishment. It represents the management of a task in the coordination of activities in order to achieve a defined purpose and goals. Pedagogical or educational management. It's a set of principles, methods, organizational forms, and technological methods of managing the educational process, aimed at increasing its effectiveness. Strategic management is ongoing planning, monitoring, analyzing the assessment of all necessities an organization needs to meet its goals and objectives. Changes in business, in educational environment will require organizations to constantly assess their strategies for success. The strategic management processes helps organization take stock of their present situation, check our strategies, deploy them, and analyze the effectiveness of the implement management strategies. Strategic management consists of basic strategies and can differ in implementation depending on the surrounding environment. Innovation management is a systematic promotion of innovations in organizations and includes tasks of planning, organization, management, and control. Innovation management deals with the measure to promote innovations in organizations and to generate benefits. For example, new products and services in education to uh, improved products and services, improvement of internal processes in order to stretch the company within to save something, development of new business models to exploit new sources of income. So these were our main terms of our course. Now we begin with our questions. First of all, today's our question is the theory and methodology of pedagogical innovations. In pedagogical science, education is viewed as a socially, culturally, and personally determined activity. The subject of this activity are included in the process of renewal. 1 second, please. Somebody is coming to our lecture. Once again. Okay. The modern educational space consists of two types of pedagogical processes, innovative and traditional. Accordingly, two types of education are distinguished, supportive and innovative. Supportive education is a process and the result of such educational activities which are aimed at maintaining, reproducing, and existing culture, social system, social experience, its presentation, and inheritance. Innovative education is a process and the result of such educational activity, which, in addition to maintaining existing traditions, stimulates the desire of future specialists to make changes in the existing culture, social sphere, economy in order to create new comprehensive product, bring it to the consumer, and as a result, improving the quality of life, of future education, of quality of education, and many other things. So, pedagogical innovation is a science that studies the nature, patterns of the development of pedagogical innovations in relation to subject of education, as well as providing a connection between pedagogical tradition and the design of the future education. The definition implies the main goal of pedagogical innovation to scientifically substanced to ensure continuous changes in education in the interest of its approximation to the realizable essence of a person receiving education. Next, we will see innovation levels in education. Probably, do you have any questions? If you have questions, you can write them in our chat, or you can ask me. So, innovation levels in education. First of all, improvement. It is changing one or more elements of the educational process, adaptation of a known technique to new conditions of educational activity. For example, new ways of creating groups for education. Next, rationalization. Establishing a new rule for the use of well-known pedagogical tools to solve traditional problems, a different way of scheduling, for example. Third, modernization. Changing several elements of the current educational system. For example, instead of 11 years of study, we take the 12 years of study. And next, heuristic solution, finding a way to solve known pedagogical problems. Creation, the use of previously unknown pedagogical forms, methods, means for solving urgent pedagogical problems. Pedagogical invention, it's a new means, technology of a new combination of pedagogical system for the implementation into education. And the last one is pedagogical discovery. It's the formulation and solution of a really new pedagogical task leading to a fundamental renewal of the educational system as a whole, or a significant improvement of its continuant element. For example, distant learning, which we see today, or trees pedagogy. Probably, do you have questions in a chart? Now I see. Oh no. Okay, okay, okay. We don't have any questions. So if you
Yeah.
will have, please ask me. Um, Problems posed by innovation. You know that probably not everybody wants to improve something, or wants to take innovation into their lives. Yes, um, we can say it about children, about pupils, about students, about some teachers or parents. So we have different problems posed by innovations. Differences in the needs of students, their parents, and the school. The existence of one school of different pedagogical concept and approaches supporters. Inconsistently of the educational institution concept with the requirements of the surrounding society and educational standards. Next, the problem of combining innovative programs with traditional. Lack of educational and methodological support for working on new concepts. Adaptation of innovations to existing conditions. Next problems would be the next. A lack of professional training for teachers, innovators, heads of innovative institutions. Problems of innovations interaction with administrative bodies, state monitoring systems. Types of pedagogical or educational innovations would be next. Uh, in the content of education, we can see different innovations. In the technologies, methods of educational process would be innovations. In the organization of the educational process. And next type of innovations we can see in the school management system too. Next types of innovations could be next. They can be radical, basic, fundamentally new technologies, management methods, combinatorial, The use of various combinations of elements, modifying, improvement, addition of original structures, principles, forms. Could you please write me in a chat one example of innovation? In education, I mean. Could you please write one example of any educational innovation as you think? No, no. Which educational innovation do you know? One online class, maybe, yes, it's innovation, really. Um, and this year, all world is into online class, yes, and into online learning. It's a really innovation. Let students learn in the situations. I don't understand well. In the real life situation, do you mean? Probably. Yes, in real life situation, I think it would be innovation. Another examples? Learning to play the role of the situation in learning. Yes, role play, it would be innovation if you use certainly. Flipped room, I think yes, flipped room is innovation too. Another example. So we have about 50 students. I need more examples. Dear teacher, several classmates are still waiting to enter class. Please pay attention. I No, I have everybody into our classroom. It's nobody is waiting. I Everybody entered. Thank you. Multimedia education, yes, it would be innovation, and we said that this year it's really widespread. Okay, okay, thank you for your answers. So we continue. I understand that you are listening me. Information, knowledge, probably yes. Every new direction in education could be innovation. Yes. Okay. Let the students preview in advance through their screen by means of TV and form the inverted classroom. Yes, yes, it very good example. So I close our chat and I continue our lecture. I understand that you are listening to me. Thank you very much. Next, the scale of innovation. First of all, it's a local level. Next would be modular level. It's a complex of private, interconnected, related, for example, to one group of subject, one age of students, and etc. Systematic, covering all educational institutions. Nobody is waiting. Yes, nobody. Five meaning of innovations in education. First of all, we change psychological climate in the educational institutions. Secondly, the process of education becomes new, more interesting. I'm sorry about students. I need to write. Okay, probably somebody is waiting. I don't understand. Probably we have some technical problems, but I have. But I can't see nobody in the waiting room. Everybody, I think, in our classroom now. So, first meaning is changing of psychological climate. Um, Next mean is developed pedagogical systems, implementation and distribution. Development of new technologies for design, management and teaching in schools, engaged in innovative activities, forced to constantly overcome to emerging conditions. Fourth meaning of innovation is pulling by innovative schools into their orbit a new financial, informational, social cultural structures and mechanisms. And the last one, pedagogical activity, takes on the character of sustainable creative activity and has a positive effect on all components of the educational process. We have two eight ranks of innovations, all levels, ranks all levels. First of all, zero level innovation is reproducing of the traditional educational system or its element. Innovation of the first level is a quantitative change with the same quality. Innovation of the second order is regrouping system elements and organizational changes. Nobody is waiting. Innovations of the third order is adaptive changes in the educational system in the conditions without going beyond on the old model of education. Innovations of the fourth order is the simplest qualitative changes in individual components of educational system. Innovation of fifth order or level is changing all or most of the original properties on the system. Innovations of the sixth order is the creation of educational system of a new type with a qualitative change in the functional properties of the system while maintaining the backbone functional principles. Um, the seventh order or the seventh level of innovation is a radical change in educational systems, the emergence of a new kind of educational system. Could you please write an example of innovation of zero order, for example, and innovation of sixth and seventh order? Global innovations in education and a little innovation. Innovations in education. Could you please write me in a chat um, zero order innovation? Example, as you think, when we can see only reproduction of traditional system or its element. And one example of global innovation, as you think, in education. Several classmates lost connection and they are still waiting to enter the class. But I can't see everybody who wanted to enter. I entered the classroom and nobody is waiting in the waiting room. I can't understand. What is the zero innovation? Okay, I repeat once again. So we have eight ranks of innovation. Zero rank of innovation is reproduction of the traditional educational system. Yes, we change something little in our, for example, lesson, in only in our group of university, and when we see seventh level of innovation, it's a global innovation in the whole educational system. For example, when we change the quantity of years of education in school. Okay, chart, I see chart. Should we pay attention to qualitative change or quantitative change? Okay, should we pay attention to qualitative change or quantitative change in educational innovation? Qualitative change refers to improvement of quality. Quantitative change refers to the improvement of academic performance, which change is a higher level of innovation. I think the qualitative change in education has the higher level of education? Thank you for your questions. They are really very deep into our topic. But if we see a lot of changes in education, so we can say about quantitative changes. So we need to see how many changes. So nobody is waiting once again. I am a nun, your teaching assistant appointed by the fund to manage the affairs of a. Could you send me your period before then I can translate them into Chinese to help our students study better. Thank you very. Okay, certainly I give for all of you my presentation, and I said in the beginning of our lecture that I think in some days you will have the access to our educational portal, and you will see all the materials to our subject. Okay, such as international change students education. There is such way. There is no such way previously. Okay, you give me good example. International exchange student education. Yes, it is innovation, certainly. There is no such way previously. And now we make not only exchange of students, but a distantly exchange of students. Yes, we are really you are really innovative students, and our university is really innovative university too. Yes. Okay, and we continue. So, three components of the innovative process. Certainly, first of all, we create innovations. We need to invent them. Yes, we need to think about something we want to change. Then, when we have an idea, we mastering it. We write scientific papers about it. We think about it effectiveness, and after it we put application of innovation in our educational establishment. And the innovation process is really big, it's really long, and it have a lot of stages, but the the biggest stages are three, and into these three stages we can find another component. So now you'll see them. um, First of all, I thought about creation of innovation. We think about the changes, about what we need to change in education, or what we need to implement into the education. First of all, we analyze the educational activities and identify the needs for changes. So, if we have the perfect educational system, I don't think we don't need. I'm sorry, something in. I want to know where the so-called eight levels of innovation, the first and the second so-called quantitative change and the quality innovation should be considered with mathematical ideas. So you say that all these levels of innovations consider the mathematical ideas in the mathematics. You and other students, you can find such the same levels of innovations. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Next, the second step in the creation of innovation is design of innovation. Um, then we need to test our innovation. We need to see how does it work. So we make experimental testing of innovation. In Now you will begin the work of your thesis, master thesis, and you will take uh, innovation, I think, in the pedagogy, in education, and then write about this innovation in the first part of our thesis. You will write about its effectiveness, about the way how it does it work, and then you will make experiment. Yes. You will have two groups. One group will be control and one group would be experimental. If you talk about really pedagogical experiment. Yes. And for example, control group would work on traditional system, and another experimental group would work on experimental system or by innovation. Yes. And then after this experiment, first of all, before this experiment, you will have uh, for example, make test of the level of your pupils, students, or other contingent of pupils you work with, for example. And then after work you need to make another testing of the level of your pupils or student, and see how does it work, your innovational system. Does it work or not? Yes, if the testing experimental group would have the best results, you can say that yes, it does work. But if they would not have the best result, or two groups would have the same result, it's not very bad. It's for your master thesis, it's result too. You can say that my innovation doesn't work very good. So I said about the third and the fourth point, experimental testing of innovation. Yes, you apply when you apply innovation into work. And next, examination of innovation. So your first innovation work would be very fast when you begin in a few days, I think, to write your master thesis. Okay, I have a question. Analyze, design, do, and check. Right. Yes, right. Analyze which idea I would like to take into the process educational. Design, yes. Your ideal process of education with new idea. Next, you teach or do, certainly, and then check. Okay, teacher, could you tell us the two groups difference? Which two groups difference? I don't understand the last questions. Two groups difference? About experiment, you see, I said that when you make innovative experiment or experiment for your thesis, master thesis, if you work on the bus of school, of pupils, or of university, or students groups, always when you make experiment you need to have two groups of students. One group is traditional group, which will work as the same time as they have worked always. And one group will apply your new method of education, and then you check, does it work or not? Please, could you please write me now in a chat, where do you work? Are you teachers or not? And if yes, please write yes or plus. I am teacher in school, in musical school, in the university, or I'm not a teacher. Okay, and I continue. Next step is mastering of innovations. First of all, analysis of educational activities, search for innovations, evaluating and selection of innovations, designing the desired future of educational system, introducing of innovations, analysis and evaluation of the result of change, institutionalization of innovation. What about the last point? Institutionalization of innovation. Somebody have bad internet, I think, because some students are going out and in our classroom. But don't worry, I make video of our lecture. Okay, and the link next day I'll give you too. I understand that you have somebody of you have bad internet, but um, we make video for your future work. So, institutionalization of innovation. If we see very good results of innovation in education, so we take this innovation not only on the level of one class, one group in the university, but we try to put this innovation into the whole educational process, into the whole educational system. So not only one university would work on this innovation, but 3, 5 universities, all education system of higher education would work. So now I want to see our chart. uh, I'm not a teacher, I am a teacher. I was a teacher, but not now. I understand. Yes, I'm a teacher in vocational school. Art teacher. I'm a teacher. Teach Chinese. Chinese teacher too. Okay, very good. To say the truth, I'm teach cooking. Oh, very interesting. Um, I was on your exam for master to enter our university, and I know that a lot of you are teachers. Yes, I have teached piano, teach art design. Okay, very good. So you will work really on your master thesis with experiments, I think. Yes. So you need to change to choose now one innovation which you want to implement in your work, and I can see if you will take a topic which is connected with your work, and these master theses would make better your work, your pupils. I think you would be really happy, and master theses wouldn't be very difficult to you to write. Yes, if you will work, if you will write about your work, so you will have very beautiful papers in scientific journals, for example, in conferences. So I think it would be very good work. A Chinese teacher, dance teacher, art design. Okay, very interesting. I think we have a very beautiful group. So I continue. Next, innovation technology. First of all, we have such stage as implementation carried out by developer himself. So you as a developer will be on this stage alone. Yes, you will work, you will begin to work with innovation first of all alone. Yes. Next, engineering from marketing, pre-projects away, business plan, development to complex supply of equipment, personnel. Okay, I have another two students which are coming, and I think for a fifth time, probably problems with internet. Um, Personal support and subsequent service. Third, consulting is an innovation technology that provides a stage for choosing an innovation planning strategy. Training, the stage of training personal support for innovation. And the last one, a transfer of technologies, implementation of an innovative project by transferring to another subject area or to another territories. Chat. Somebody, university teachers, okay, as me. Uh, Teacher, thank you for your hard work. Thank you. I'm not our teacher. Okay, thank you for all your answers. Thank you for your feedback, because now I understand when I ask you something, when not only me is talking, I understand that you are hearing me and you understand me well. Thank you very much. And three levels of innovation development and their objectives. First of all, we have a conceptual level, um, methodological substantiation of the priority ideas necessary and sufficient for the development of the concept of renewal. Orientation to a pedagogical idea that would give an idea to the integrity of the educational process, and the reflection in the concept of the specifics of this school. Next one, organizational level. Its selection and placement of teaching staff within the school, such an attraction of scientific consultants, specialists to conduct new courses and electives. Creating a scientific and methodological council for planning, coordination, and control of experimental work. Creation of creative groups of teacher experimenters for the development and experimental testing of new courses. So certainly now with your master degree, with your master thesis, you would work alone, yes, but you can take with you some of your colleagues, which would help you in your innovative work and would help to implement your good innovative ideas into not only one classroom, into many classes, into many students group, into many art classes, yes. A provision of material and technical conditions for carrying out experimental groups. So certainly, if you are teacher innovator, if you have one innovative idea and you would like to ask somebody to help you to make your experimental group wide, for example, not only 20 20 pupils, but you would have 40, 100, 150, yes, to make alone this experiment. It's very hard and sometimes you can't do it only by yourself, and you ask your colleagues to help you, but you need to understand that your colleague need all materials for the work. So um, So you need to give all materials. Somebody is coming once again to our lecture, but we have only 5 minutes till the end of our lecture. But probably I ask after our technical support, but probably it's about bad internet. I don't know. hmm And you need to provide all your colleagues, all teachers which would work with you, with all materials to work. Yes, and you, for example, could make a special lesson for your colleagues where you say how work, what material give, um, how use your materials. So you make such a methodological lesson for your colleagues, and after you begin your work. Next, scientific and methodological level development and testing of various opinions of curricula, programs, ways and means of achieving them. Development of methods and diagnostic of level of upbringing and assimilation of knowledge. Determination of performance criteria for the implementation of the concept of education of the educational institution. Define the effectiveness mechanism for generalization and dissemination of best and innovative practices, and the scientific provision of effective ways of training and professional development of teachers. And for today, I have the last slide. And next, I would see your questions in a chat. If you have questions, okay, I will answer. Please now write in a chat your questions if you have them. So, and for pedagogical innovations, for our theory of pedagogical innovations, for today we have the last slide that I would like you to know about this topic. Stages of pedagogical innovation introducing. The first stage is the choice of goal and means of innovation. How we choose a goal and mean. So first of all, certainly we see problem which we want to solve, and then we choose ways to solve this problem. Yes, and sometimes would be really innovation in pedagogy which help us to solve something and make something better in the process of education. The second stage is the selection of the innovative introducing means. The result is the creation of an innovation concept. The third stage is the development of a program for the implementation of the experiment and scientific and methodological support of innovation. Certainly, you can't implement innovation for one day, for 1 week, or 1 month. Yes, certainly you need to write calendar planning, how to implement innovation, and you need to understand, for example, for the first stage of testing, of incoming testing, you need, for example, 1 month. If we talk about your master thesis, we don't talk about innovations on the level of all educational space. Yes. Then you need some months for work on your innovation, for your innovational idea of on your innovational program. You need to work for some months for your new lessons, yes, for new experimental, for example, exercises or something else. And then you certainly need some time to make the final testing too, and then to counting everything, to write all dates in your thesis. The development of implementation program and methodological support. About methodological support, you will have it in your thesis too, because you need to um, say why do you choose this innovation, and that your methodological support, that your work really can help not only one teacher, but it can be really innovation in the whole education. And the fourth stage is the introduction of innovation into practice. It's a transformation into a trend. The main thing at the stage is the examination of the result of innovation. For example, if you were there when we write master theses, and when we introduce innovation into practice, we make really special documents, which is called introducing into practice, where we write which innovation we introduce, for example, into the university, and we have all stamps, all signs of our university office. You can introduce this innovation into school, and the school gives the same document of introducing of innovation into the its educational process. So it was the last slide, and I want to see, and how do we know the mechanism is effective? Thank you for your question. And I said that you make experiment. First of all, you have two groups of pupils, for example, with the same level of knowledge, for example. Then you implement your innovation, and you work with them for some months, for some years, for example, and then you make the same test and see the level of which group is higher. The level of experimental group is higher, or the level of traditional and experiment group is the same. So if the level would be the same, we can say that innovation not to work very good. Yes, because the traditional education works good too, and we have no difference. And but if we have really good results on the final testing, we can say that yes, our innovative idea works very good. Okay, so thank you very much for today's our first lecture. um, I understand that we had about 20 minutes of something of technical problems because I was waiting for you. Um, and we will see each other um, on Wednesday, as I remember good. It is our first course, so then we will have with me another two courses. Some of you will write, I think 4 students will write with me master theses, and I'm very glad of this. About materials of lecture, please, who asked me to send, please give me your email in a chat and I will send you uh, my presentation. And I think in some days when you receive your login and password to our educational portal, you will have all materials on all our subjects. Okay, I'll copy, and now I'll send you. Thank you. Okay, you give me two. Not only one. Please, only one email. Please send, and then you. I think I know that you have one group, and give to everybody. Okay. Thank you for your work too. Thank you that you really was on our first lecture, despite of internet problems. No, I'm not in that group. Okay, send me. Okay, your. I try to send for all of you this material. Thank you for you. Okay, see you on Wednesday. As I remember very good my schedule. And I think that the second lecture we will begin on time without any internet problems. Okay, thank you, bye. See you. See you too. Bye bye. It was a very great pleasure to work with you.